161 games in the books, but number 162 is now the biggest and most important for the Houston Astros in this 2015 season. Astros in Arizona to finish the regular season schedule against the D-backs. Astros baseball on Root Sports. Alan Ashby, Jeff Blum will have the call and be with you in just a few moments. I'm Julia Morales, down on the field, and an excited Astros ball club behind me, ready to go. Very loose this morning in the clubhouse watching football because no games of relevance have started yet in the game of baseball. But here we go. They're loose because they're very confident, winning 6 out of their last 7 games. And they've done it the way we've seen them win games all season long, with the home run. It's been very impressive, this club, all year. They're tied for first in the league with 230 bombs. But on this road trip, you see 13 home runs in just 5 games. So they're putting together here recently some guys making a late surge in the season. 21 homers in their last 7. 11 Astros in double-digit home runs, 5 with 20-plus home runs. We saw Rasmus hit 3 in his last 2 games. Some of these guys looking very, very comfortable. But today's game, the thin air of Arizona, maybe we'll see a couple of more, 73 and 46 when this team hits a home run. Looking for a win today, and here's some scenarios for you. If Astros win, the Texas Rangers lose. They play a division tiebreaker tomorrow in Arlington. If Texas wins and the Yankees win, they will play in that wild card game against the Yankees on Tuesday. But there's still a chance there could be a wild card game in Houston if Texas wins and the Yankees lose. A lot of things up in the air for this ball club. There will be a little scoreboard watching because they have a perfect view of it in this dugout. But it's what they play for, this playoff scenario. And a couple of guys who have playoff experience are the guys in the booth. Ash and Blummer, this team has everything from rookies to guys with a lot of playoff experience. But I want to ask you, what are they really feeling? They tell me they're excited. They tell me they're loose. But what is the feeling in these guys as they get ready to play this game today?
Yeah, and thanks, Julia. And I'll go ahead and start it. I imagine it's a combination of those things, maybe some other things. You'll feel some butterflies. If you get off to a good start like anything else, it sure makes it a lot easier. But for me, it was a great time. But it's not about moral victories right now, and there are no guarantees because you get there this year that you'll be there next year. You try to take advantage as best you can and try to win it all.
Yeah, and right now you're not worried about your individual accolades. Right now you're trying to come together as a unit. This is a 25-man group that's going to go out there and try and win this ball game today to try and fight for another day. And right now we talk about all the time, make them remember your name. The way you make them remember your name, you play in clutch situations, you move on to the playoffs and do some big things. But right now these guys are on the verge of doing something extremely special that hasn't happened in the last decade.
Coming up, it's been a youth movement that's powered the Astros all season long, so it's only fitting that their star rookie takes them out with everything on the line. Blummer and I talk Lance McCullers when we return. "15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Lance McCullers gets the big start today. Game 162 for the Astros. Why not? He has been fantastic this year. Great stuff with the heater or the slider and a changeup to go with it, and a huge heart that he takes out there every time.
No, he did a great job last time out there. 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. But for me, it's just controlling that emotion because we know he wants the ball in a big spot for the Houston Astros, realizing what this game means to them. Control that emotion, hit your spots. It's going to be a good afternoon for Lance McCullers.
Coming up, the 162-game schedule comes down to one game with a division title and playoff berth still hanging in the balance. Can the Houston Astros seize the moment and make history in Arizona? The game is next. Astros trying to take care of the questions today. They need a victory, and one way or the other, if they win today, they are in the postseason. The Houston Astros, Jeff Blum, have had quite a season, and you can look back to so many moments, but I think even on this road trip, it's been really big. They've been able to go out, come up with a winning road trip to this point. Some huge wins, and you've seen it in Seattle as well, but it's been quite a trip to make this happen.
Sure has. They've had to win these ball games. They've done it. They're not done yet.
So the Astros are set to go. Jose Altuve will lead it off here in the first inning. Robbie Ray, the left-hander, on the hill for the Diamondbacks. Robbie Ray made his major league debut against the Astros last year, May 6th, as a member of the Detroit Tigers. Worked 5 1/3 innings in a victory as he won that first game. And allowed just 5 hits and a run. Jose Altuve, you've been hearing the guys back in the studio talk about his stuff against the lefties. He has just torn them up. Hits one that breaks the bat as he hits a fly ball to left field. This will get it started. First out of the afternoon. And that lineup for the Astros brought to you by Southwest.com. Again, Altuve in the leadoff spot, followed by George Springer and Carlos Correa. Middle three, Colby Rasmus, who had a big day yesterday. Chris Carter and Marwin Gonzalez in left. And the bottom three, Jed Lowry in there today. Jason Castro and Lance McCullers with the bat in his hand. So we're underway. As George Springer, who's been swinging the bat so well, swings through the first pitch. George has hit in 4 consecutive. And an 0-2 count.
Left-hander Robbie Ray for those Arizona Diamondbacks. Fastball, slider, rarely a curveball or changeup. So basically a 2-pitch pitcher, 5-12 on the season. Astros beat up on him earlier in Houston, where he went 5 innings, giving up 4 earned runs.
Hot shot back up the middle off the bat of Springer. He's at it once again and digging towards second base. And the speed and hustle will earn him a double. The Astros now with a man in scoring position as George Springer hits a ground ball up the middle and gets a double out of it.
Take a look at where that pitch was in our strike zone, brought to you by MD Anderson. Just a firmly hit ground ball right back up the middle. You see what George sees, wide open spaces up the middle, and with the center fielder playing towards that right center field side, Springer in his speed decided to take advantage of it, put himself in scoring position with those legs. Play with that aggression. Beautiful.
Double number 18 for George. And if a play could typify the way you want to play on a game like this, a day like this, that would be it for me. I don't know what you saw there, but I saw George Springer from step one coming out of the box thinking about going as far as he possibly could. Carlos Correa at the plate. Hitting .279. Oh, and 2 the count on Carlos. Correa went 0 for 4 in yesterday's game. Drove in a run with a sac fly, struck out a couple of times. He had 3 hits in the opener here in Arizona, went 3 for 4, scored 4 runs, and drove in 4 in that game. It's been kind of back and forth, but 5 RBIs in the series for Carlos. And a line drive, but at the third baseman Lamb. Right off the end of the bat. That's 2 outs as it brings up Colby Rasmus.
Defense for the Arizona Diamondbacks here at Chase Field on this 162. Phil Gosselin on the left, A.J. Pollock in center, Socrates Brito in right, Jake Lamb, Chris Owings on the left, Aaron Hill and Paul Goldschmidt, the veterans, on the right side. Jared Saltalamacchia gets to start with Robbie Ray this afternoon.
There's a guy who had a mighty big day yesterday. Colby Rasmus, 3 for 4, 2 home runs in that game, both solo jobs. And batting in the cleanup spot against the lefty. Take a look at those long balls.
A couple of breaking balls too. Colby said that he was in a good spot, working on some things, keeping those hands back, and he got a couple of breaking balls up out over the plate. Just does a good job of keeping those hands back. That one right there is probably why he's in that lineup today. Left on left bomb.
3 consecutive multiple hit games for Colby. Falls behind in the count, 0-2. And you can see Robbie Ray has very good stuff. 94-95 here this afternoon on the heater. 25 huge home runs for Colby. And when you take a look back at big moments for the Astros this year, Rasmus involved in a number of them. Over the last 4 ball games, he's pushed his batting average from .230 on up to the present .240. Rasmus, 29 years of age. Timeout called. And in his 7th year in the major leagues. Started with the Cardinals, on to the Toronto Blue Jays. His 25 home runs represent a career high for Colby. Takes strike 3 on the heater. 95 blown by. The Astros get a double with 1 out from Springer and strand him. We go to the bottom of the 1st inning, a scoreless game. George Springer. And now for the Arizona Diamondbacks. They line him up with Socrates Brito in the top spot, followed by Phil Gosselin and A.J. Pollock. In the middle, it's Paul Goldschmidt, Jared Saltalamacchia, and Aaron Hill. In the bottom 3, Jake Lamb, Chris Owings, and Robbie Ray.
Lance McCullers going for those Houston Astros. Rookie right-hander finding himself pitching the biggest game of the season for the Houston Astros, making his 22nd start. 123 strikeouts. Last time out against Seattle, pitched extremely well. Electric fastball, slider, occasional changeup. That's a good start.
And so the first pitch right there at 94. A couple of guys throwing hard this afternoon. Socrates Brito in just 18 games hitting .345. And there is quick news out of Arlington, Texas, as the fly ball goes to left field. Marwin Gonzalez out there in left now and makes the catch. 1 up, 1 down for Lance McCullers. This is what's happened already in the 1st inning in Arlington. The Angels lead at 2-0. Compliments of a 2-run home run by Albert Pujols, his 40th on the year. He picked up Mike Trout, who had doubled in front of him. And so the big boys right in the heart, making it big for the Angels, and the Rangers feeling the heat. So Gosselin stands in. And as Julia talked about, and there are a number of scenarios that can come to be here with games today, but if the Astros win, take care of business, and then see the Rangers lose, the Astros would tie with Texas for the leadership in the American League West and play it off tomorrow. That would be in Arlington. So the Astros quickly see the Angels going after the Rangers after that incredible comeback yesterday.
Well, we spent a lot of time talking about the top 3 hitters in the Astros lineup. Much can be said about the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. They've adjusted their order a little bit with Mike Trout moving into that 3-hole, Calhoun now in the 2-hole, and then with Albert Pujols hitting 4th. But Trout got that 2-out double, and then Pujols comes up and makes it a 2-0 game in a hurry.
Good slider just off the plate, at least in the assessment of home plate umpire Corey Blazer. Chris Guccione's at first, Laz Diaz at second, down at third Jeff Nelson. You want to spot it like that all day long. And another foul ball down the right side. 2-2 the count. A lot on the line, but knowing what you know about Lance McCullers, any reservations?
No.
Absolutely. That's how I feel.
Why did you ask me that?
Well, I want the fans to hear what you have to say. Breaking ball hit to center field. Colby Rasmus is there. That's 2 outs in the first.
Take a look at the defense for the Houston Astros. We just saw Colby Rasmus out there in center field with that catch. Side on side of him is Marwin Gonzalez and George Springer. Jed Lowry back out there at third base for this big game. Carlos Correa at short with Altuve at second base. Chris Carter, of course, at first base, and Jason Castro is looking forward to this day as behind home plate with Lance McCullers.
Two outs. 3-hitter A.J. Pollock at the plate. Hitting .313 with 19 home runs, driving in 75, playing a great center field, and along with all of that, scoring 109 runs for the Diamondbacks. He hit .302 last year, so it's nothing new for this young center fielder. On base percentage is a very good one. .365 on his season. Had a double in yesterday's game. Has hit in 3 straight, 4 of his last 5. Crushes one to center field. Rasmus back and looking up. And that one gets out of here. Straightaway center field home run. Pollock is 20th on the year. And the Diamondbacks strike first, lead it 1-0.
And location's a key for Lance McCullers. A couple pitches early on, we saw him locating the fastball down around the knees on the edges of the plate, which is a good place to be. But this fastball leaks right back out over the plate, and this is what good hitters do with it. They crush it. And A.J. Pollock got all of this one for his 20th home run of the season, hitting high up off that center field batting eye.
Arizona puts a little heat on early with the home run. Paul Goldschmidt at the plate. Hit a mammoth home run in yesterday's game. And for Pollock, that kind of puts some of the icing on the cake for him personally. 20 home runs to go with the great season. McCullers close but misses away. 2-0 the count. Paul Goldschmidt really doesn't need much more icing on his season. It's a pitch that Lance McCullers can turn to. He can throw that slider for a strike. Back to the breaking ball. It's 3-1. Three straight sliders. And right there on the outside edge.
Threw that thing hard.
Goldschmidt has hit in 5 straight. Comes right back to the slider. Springer down the right field corner and makes the catch, and that'll do it. But the Diamondbacks with a run on the home run by Pollock, his 20th. After 1, it's 1-0 Arizona.
Games at Minute Maid Park. You won't want to miss the excitement of October baseball. Sign up at astros.com/postseason tickets. Still a couple of different games you could be catching at Minute Maid Park. Here are the potential scenarios for games in Houston. Remember, the tickets are available. Call that number 1-877-9-ASTROS if you have any questions. Operators are standing by, and if any of these scenarios happen to not work out, you will be reimbursed. They could be playing tomorrow at home, Tuesday at home. Lots of things up in the air, guys.
Thank you, Julia. And that's right. Any money spent on games that don't take place, money comes right back to you, so don't worry about that one. Chris Carter leads off the 2nd inning. Takes a strike. It's 1-1. Robbie Ray is working quickly and with very good stuff. And again, pitched well in 5 1/3 innings against the Astros last year, beating them while with the Detroit Tigers. Chris Carter hitting 199, got to 200 yesterday. Count stays at 1-2. 24 home runs on the year for Chris, 64 RBIs. Picked up 17 doubles along the way. Chops it foul off that lead foot. Long home run by the 3-hitter A.J. Pollock against Lance McCullers, accounting for that Arizona run. George Springer had a leg double in the 1st inning. Carter stays alive. Chris has hit in 3 straight. Carter, one of the cast of 11 on the Astros, having hit home runs multiple times, or over 10 times double digits this year. Of course, Carter had 37 home runs last year, 29 the year before that.
Seven Astros with 15+ home runs. They've done a lot of damage with that home run.
Shift on. The shortstop is there. Owings with the play. Out number one here in the second inning.
Got a key to the game today. It's going to be brought to you by your Houston area Chevy dealers, and the door is wide open to win the AL West. We had to alter that one a little bit before. It was just to get in the playoffs, but now they actually have a chance to win this game outright, have the Angels help them out a little bit, and win that division title. You can hang that banner out there at Minute Maid Park. That would be a special moment to have a chance to play for that. But a good time to be a Houston Astro. They've worked hard to get to this point. Nobody expected them to be here, and now they've got a great opportunity.
Marwin Gonzalez stands in. Gets that start against the left-hander, swinging it so well and dangerously from the right side.
Rocking the eye black for the indoor game today.
Mighty bright lights here indoor. Chops it foul. Robbie Ray continues to get out in front quickly. There's your update. The Rangers now have gotten on the board in the first inning. 2-1 the Angels lead. The 2-run home run by Albert Pujols.
I believe it was Prince Fielder with an RBI base hit for the Texas Rangers.
Robbie Ray has thrown 23 pitches, 20 of which have been strikes.
Pumping heaters.
Off speed, drilled into left field. There's one of the reasons you want Marwin in that batting order, especially against the left-handers. So a one-out single. Marwin aboard for Jed Lowry.
Number 8, Jed Lowry.
Yeah, hanging breaking ball, and the way Marwin's been swinging the bat, he knew he was going to barrel that one up.
Marwin not a threat to run. He's stolen 4 backs, but caught 5 times this year. And so Jed Lowry will stand in, and Jed's been ailing recently. 1-0 the count. Hitting .225. One of the guys right there knocking on the door, trying to get in that double-digit home run club. Has 9. And a 2-0 count. And he had a big grand slam against Minnesota. Remember this at home?
And he laid into that one.
That was a game winner. And he still hadn't hit that 3-run home run pinch hit job in Anaheim in the miracle 5-3 victory over the Angels. So he's had some awfully big swings for the team. Has a 2-1 count. Appeared in yesterday's game, drew a couple of walks and scored a run. Got in 2 of the games in Seattle, had 6 at bats, going 1 for 6 in that series. Ray just steps off and flips to first base.
Biggest thing for me with the Astros, their offense has done a great job in that month of September. I think 272. They're doing a great job here in October also, but the strikeouts have been down.
And a strikeout as soon as you mention it. That fastball pumped by, and Ray has a good one. 2 down, 2 strikeouts for Ray.
I think you're going to see a lot of fastballs from Robbie Ray. Doesn't really have much of a changeup. doesn't throw that curveball that often. He does have that slider, but that slider he threw, it was left up, and Marwin raked it. So if you're an Astros hitter right now, you just get those hands ready, get ready to hit that 93 to 94 mile an hour heat.
Castro 11 home runs on his year, hitting .213. Since 1962, the inception of the Houston Astros franchise, the Colt 45s at the time. The club has gotten into 9 postseasons, 7 division titles, and of course 1 time to the World Series. And that was 2005. That's the last postseason appearance for the Astros. Quickly 0-2 as Ray gets in front. Texas Rangers start the day 87-74. 1 game in front of the Astros at 86-75. Take a look at the Yankees, because they're still in the picture in what the Astros are looking at. And the Yankees, who are coming apart at the seams right now, trail the Orioles 2-0. With a win today, a loss for the Yankees, the Astros would have the very same record as the Yankees, who were about a week ago presumed to be the first wild card from the American League. May not turn out that way.
Toma, coño.
Good grief.
¿Te la va a robar, sí o no?
Diamondbacks are 78-83. A.J. Hinch just keeping it cool as much as possible, allowing the guys to have fun and all the while stay intense and play one day at a time. Breaking ball stays up and in. It's 1-2 on Jason. The Astros have been best team in the major leagues in interleague play this year. 16-3. And 8-1 in those interleague games on the road. Off speed, got him. Castro down on strikes. That's 3 for Robbie Ray as he gets through the second inning. It's 1-0 Diamondbacks.
Back to work, who turned 22 over the weekend, told me he'd like to celebrate with champagne with his teammates. And the start for him today wasn't announced until yesterday, but he was told and has been prepping for it ever since. On the off day here in Arizona, he actually threw at a wall in his hotel room that he covered with pillows in order to keep the arm moving, feeling loose. They do the strangest things, guys. I never know what they're going to tell me. But as far as Lance today, the key for him was just to keep the emotions under control. He's a guy that gets amped up. We've seen it all year long. But with him getting this start on such a big game, it shows this Astros organization has no fear starting their young guys. They've been a big part of their success this year, Ash.
Yeah, thank you, Julia. And though Lance McCullers may be young in age and experience in the major leagues, to me, he's one of those guys I want, one of those real warriors out on the hill. And I'll take him anytime. Starts things with a strike, facing Jared Saltalamacchia, switch hitting, one-time catcher all the time. Now kind of a DH, first baseman catcher. .94 out of that right arm from McCullers.
That looked like it cut a little bit too. Are there really enough pillows in that hotel to knock down a McCullers fastball?
You know how that morning was supposed to go? Steve Sparks was going to go out and play catch. McCullers had set it up. I want to play catch tomorrow. I like to throw on these particular days. And so that's how that was going to go. It didn't wind up working out. So pillows came out.
You're putting this on Sparky.
It was actually McCullers mandating that setup. But
way to go, Steve.
Of course, there was an all-important golf game to be had that day.
Is it too hot for Sparky to go out and play catch?
Never too hot for Steve Sparks. 2-2 the count. 95 pumped through. Still 2-1 Angels lead over Texas there in the second inning. That's Garrett Richards and Cole Hamels on the mound. Albert Pujols a 2-run home run, scoring Mike Trout, and Prince Fielder singled to drive in Delino DeShields. Got him looking on the breaking ball. First strikeout for Lance McCullers. Out number 1, it brings up Aaron Hill.
That whole sequence for me was pretty nasty. Fastballs 94, 95, and then just a backdoor breaking ball right on the edge. Perfectly placed.
Hill hitting .232. Pretty much utility now with the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's 33 years of age. 11th year in the major leagues. He's been an all-star. Been in the MVP voting in the past. With Toronto in 2009, he got as high as 12th in that voting. Picked up a Silver Slugger award a couple of times. Got one of those in 2012 as a member of the Diamondbacks. McCullers close but missing. It's 3-0. 22nd start on the year for Lance. And his 8th now since being recalled after that stint to the minor leagues to just rest the arm. And a strike on the outside edge.
A little generous on that 3-0 count. Lance will take it. It's amazing how pitchers can go from what Lance McCullers did to Saltalamacchia and then fall behind 3-0 instantly to Aaron Hill. Yikes.
Aaron Hill beats himself up. Hill actually led the major leagues in plate appearances and official at-bats in 2009 with Toronto.
There's a little treasure he gets to keep during the offseason for a little bit.
It'll make that first week or two of the offseason very pleasant. He's a gamer type player.
Oh, he's a good guy too. Great teammate.
McCullers shakes off a sign and delivers the ball down and away. First walk issued. Hill aboard with 1 out for Jake Lamb.
Just a little talk between Castro and McCullers, calm him down a little bit. Might have something to do with what you talked about, him shaking off that 3-2 pitch, going to the fastball. Maybe Castro's saying, hey, have a little faith in me. I believe in your slider right now.
Update on that Yankees game now. It's 2-1. The Orioles lead it, bottom of the 2nd inning. Yankees lost a doubleheader yesterday. Jake Lamb playing at third base. A lot of times on that final day of the season, you'll see teams almost mandating guys to swing at the first strike they see or anything close. But with the implications on today's game, I imagine it's not like that at all for the Diamondbacks today. Certainly not for the Astros. Slider induces a poor swing. 0-2 the count.
Yeah, we've always talked about how important each AB is for a hitter. And granted, you go into these games at 162 and you realize you've got no shot. The Diamondbacks actually have an opportunity to have an effect on what happens as far as wild card division races and things like that. So maybe there's a little extra incentive, but typically if you weren't swinging at the first pitch, you were getting an earful from somebody in the dugout.
That slider got him looking. So a couple of very effective sliders from McCullers. Strikes out Lamb, second strikeout of the inning. And now 2 outs with Hill still at first base. Chris Owings will stand in.
It's been Lance's best pitch so far early on.
McCullers leads all rookies in ERA. Opponents batting average against just .224. And strikeouts per 9 innings. But you can talk about the numbers for the rookies, but Lance McCullers has put up numbers that fare very well amongst all pitchers in the American League. Owings, one of the youngsters for the Diamondbacks, chops that slider.
Good hard one. That one coming in at 84 miles an hour from Lance McCullers, so showing a good mix.
They throw out the baseball, get a new one. 0-2 the count. Owings hit 6 home runs for the Diamondbacks a year ago in 91 games. This year he's been in there a lot, 147 games now, 4 homers. Fly ball down the right side, curling back to the seats. It'll stay at 0-2. First 2 games here in the series, they had the roof open. On this afternoon game in Phoenix, Arizona, you might expect it. The roof is closed. And by the way, they had some rain here this morning. Well, we found ourselves an Astros fan.
Well, we might have to get him a jersey, put him out there. Nice play. There's quite a few orange shirts in this crowd.
There are. And they have donned the shirts you're referring to and the hats all over the place. Young and a little less young, and doesn't really matter. Had 2 very good crowds in the series. A little less here this afternoon. Ground ball hit to short. Correa will get the force at second. That'll do it. There was a walk in the inning. Diamondbacks leave a man. It's 1-0 D-backs. This catch by George Springer in Arlington. The Astros were 2-3 going into that game and could have walked away 2-4, but for that play and the home run by Hank Conger. Big turnaround at that point.
A lot of big plays throughout the course of the season. That was definitely one of them early in the season to get them launched into first place for a very long time.
You never know how a game like that, the 5th of the season, impacts your year. But again, they walk away 3-3. They take 2 out of 3 from the Rangers in that series, and it could have been very different. Lance McCullers swings it from the left side. Takes a strike from the lefty Robbie Ray. Maybe not an advantage here for Lance. Ray has a very nice pace working it. He has struck out 3 along the way. The Astros have a couple of hits. George Springer with a double, and Marwin Gonzalez has a single. Little chopper to second. First out of the inning. Lance McCullers shows that he can swing it a bit.
I don't think there's a motor in him that knows how to slow down. He was hustling down to first. Get that veteran status. He'll learn how to break it down.
You know what? I'll take it just the way it is. I like seeing that.
I don't like seeing pitchers try and sprint. I've seen way too many things go wrong.
Yeah, does happen. Jose Altuve at the plate. Broke his bat as he flied out to left field in the first inning. Had a pretty good long ball trajectory on that fly out. And he's hit 15 home runs on the season, hitting .311, 3 hits shy of 200. Loops one down the right field side, coming on hard. Brito won't get there. There's number 198, a 1-out single in the 3rd inning. That'll bring up George Springer.
Right fielder,
Little slider blows himself up. You could see that stride going right towards home plate. Locked his front side up a little bit, but able to fight it off in Altuve fashion and just drop it right in front of a position player.
His 38 stolen bases lead the American League. He's been caught 13 times. George Springer Just swinging a sizzling bat. Doubled in the first. And takes a strike. George now hitting .275.
Seen the Diamondbacks in this series work George on that inside corner with fastballs. Looks like they're going to try and go back in there.
If Altuve can get a read on that move from the lefty. Nice play behind the plate by Saltalamacchia, the veteran. Five consecutive multi-hit games for George coming into play today. And 11 hits in that span. Had a 3-hit game against Seattle in the second game. The one game the Astros have lost on this trip. Two balls and a strike. Springer's batting average went down to .260 on September 27th after an 0 for 4 against the Texas Rangers. But as we say now with the hit today, .275. So that average has really jumped. And now 3-1.
Good time to be George Springer. Swinging a hot bat, worked himself into a 3-1 count. Got a runner on. Robbie Ray's been locating his fastball, slider not so much. See if he challenges him.
Springer has a home run in the series in game 1. Crushes one on a line center field. Going back and not able to get there is Pollock. Altuve to third, being waved home. Here comes Altuve. The throw is cut off and they've got Springer hung up as Altuve has scored. And now they will tag George out. But an RBI double gets the Astros even at 1.
Did you just hear that cannon that went off?
I heard it.
My goodness, another multi-hit game for George Springer on a ball that was absolutely destroyed to center field. See the pitcher Robbie Ray ducking out of the way because of that thunderous connection it made off George Springer's bat. Pollock gave it a good effort, but that ball was killed. We know Gary Pettis with Altuve on first base is going to be sending that base runner home. Goldschmidt opting to get the sure out. Somebody's locked in.
Yes, he is. That's 6 consecutive multi-hit games now for George. And that's a big one to get back even here. Kind of be able to take a breath and start getting your good cuts. Carlos Correa trying to loosen up that swing of his.
He was loose in the first game of that series, much like the rest of the Astros when they scored 21.
Well, I know you and I were both kind of on that train of thought saying when George Springer gets hot, he can take this club a long way right with him. Correa's down on strikes. Number 4 for Robbie Ray, but the Astros get back even with a run on a couple of hits here in this third inning.
October 3rd, 1999, the Astros clinched the NL Central title with a 9-4 win over the Dodgers in the last regular season game at the Astrodome. Mike Hampton wins his club record 22nd game as the Astros take their 3rd consecutive division crown. Not to mention, those are good-looking unis, too.
Those are. I was a big fan.
Iggy Bell.
Threw more batting practice to Derek Bell and Luis Gonzalez back in 98, 97.
Paid off pretty good for Gonzo.
Yeah. 57 home runs one year with the Diamondbacks. Is that what it was?
Man, yeah. Not to mention the numerous doubles that Gonzo hit.
Lance McCullers works it to Robbie Ray, the pitcher for the D-backs. McCullers quickly in front, 0-2. So George Springer is swinging it extremely well. Has the Astros even at a run apiece. Strikeout from McCullers, pitch in the dirt, so Castro throws on down to first. Strikeout number 3 now for Lance.
Right field, Socrates Brito.
Back to the top with Socrates Brito.
Socrates isn't about to give Robbie Ray a chance to breathe, is he? He's ready to dig in and go.
Get in there and swing it. You know, we talked about it yesterday. I think it's time to really work this guy in. He hit it to left field again as he started the game today, but he can drive the ball to left. They go right back away. Pop up on the left side. Correa staggering and now called off as Marwin makes the play. Out number 2.
When I talk about Brito digging in a little bit early in the National League, usually that leadoff hitter after the game starts and the pitcher has to take a jog down to first, usually takes their time getting into the box, allowing the pitcher to get into the dugout to get a little extra time to rest and relax before heading back out there. And then Brito goes and swings at the first pitch.
Got to bring up Phil Gosselin, the left fielder. You would anticipate he's taking at least a pitch. And he does. And McCullers and Castro take advantage by pumping the strike. Still 2-1 in Arlington. Angels lead over the Texas Rangers there in the 3rd inning. Good slider. It's 0-2.
How about MLB starting all these games at the same time?
It's good.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You're going to burn out your remote watching some of these games.
See where that slider started at that apex, that high point, and dropped it right down in there. One and 2 the count. It's an ideal slider when you're ahead in the count as a pitcher. In this case, Gosselin able to lay off. Gosselin hitting .290. You know, we've talked about it a number of times. The Diamondbacks can play the game offensively. In the National League, they're 3rd in hitting in terms of batting average, 3rd in on base, 2nd in slugging. It all comes out in the wash at 3rd in the OPS category, and 2nd in runs. Line drive to right field. That's a 2-out single. 2nd hit for Arizona, and brings up A.J. Pollock.
Center fielder.
Well, as good as those breaking balls have been, this one left up in the zone. You see the location at the top. When you're sitting on 95 in a 2-strike count, you get a pitch like that. That's a gift.
It was A.J. Pollock in the 1st inning with 2 outs and the bases empty, launching one to center field, his 20th home run of the year. That put Arizona in front 1-0 until the Astros tied it in the top of this 3rd inning. George Springer with his 2nd double on the game, and plating Jose Altuve. And there's a base hit into right center field. Rasmus has to cut it off and better get it back in quickly. Altuve will be able to freeze Gosselin at 3rd base. So Pollock has a home run and a single, and the Diamondbacks have runners at the corners. 2 outs for Paul Goldschmidt.
Another breaking ball up. Get this dry air out here in Arizona, and you get a pitcher like Lance McCullers has a tendency sometimes when he does miss with that breaking ball to overthrow it, and that's what happens. Jumps out of his hand, doesn't create that good snap, a good spin rate he's looking for.
You see the numbers on Goldschmidt. He is simply one of the game's best. 32 home runs. Hit number 32 in last night's game. Goldschmidt flying to right field in the first inning.
Pretty interesting right here. Goldschmidt at the plate, 2 runners on, obviously MVP numbers year in, year out, and then you have Jared Saltalamacchia on deck. Do you treat second base as that open base?
I faced that many times as a catcher, and in my days, the schooling of the managers and coaches was no, but I felt otherwise. I felt like as long as you had a base to play with, you could go with your best stuff on hitters, and didn't always make things easy for me with managers. But in terms of the pitching staff, I think there were many times that it played on the positive side. I think what you try to stay away from is the big swing. Two balls and a strike. And now 3-1. Lance isn't missing by much, but he's missing. McCullers, second youngest pitcher in the major leagues of the starters. And there is the walk, so that'll load him up for Saltalamacchia, who struck out looking in the second.
It's going to be tough to get a guy like Paul Goldschmidt to chase after some pitches, does the veteran thing, takes those pitches and gets on base.
But for me, that's not, and I'm sure some people will say, well, that's a rookie mistake by McCullers. Not for me.
No, these game plans are talked about before games, and if there's one guy you don't want to let beat you, it's that Goldschmidt guy, because he's been beating up on everybody else year in, year out.
Saw McCullers asking to the dugout, do you want me to come to the stretch or pitch from the windup? And it will be the windup as he faces Saltalamacchia, one of the 3 strikeout victims on the day for McCullers. Good slider called low.
Real good pitch.
And now you fall behind and probably have to come with a heater. That's potentially a callable pitch. Ooh, a little cut heater.
Yeah, we've seen a couple pitches. I didn't want to say anything because I wanted to see some more pitches, but there have been a couple pitches out of Lance's hand that have cut.
Watch,
this one just took off.
Watch Castro. He's set on the other side of the plate, and that was a surprise to Castro.
You can almost see it on the rotation there.
Back to that slider and missing.
See, Lance wanted that one, but Saltalamacchia didn't even offer.
So on the slider, Castro set up right through the heart of the plate, and sometimes that can be a tip off to base runners. And again, that cut fastball. That's at 95. Mariano Rivera revisited. Two and two, and a big moment for Lance and for the Astros. 1-1 here in the 3rd inning.
Lance has a good slider today, but does he blow the heater past Saltalamacchia?
Got him on the slider. Second time today, Saltalamacchia caught looking on that pitch. And McCullers gets out of the 3rd inning as the Diamondbacks leave the bases loaded. We've played 3. We're tied at 1.
Tickets are on sale now. Guarantee your seats for a potential 2015 postseason run by reserving your 2016 season tickets today. Visit Astros.com/season tickets or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Got a chance to catch up with Coley Rasmus after last night's game. Of course, he's feeling really good. We've seen a lot of extra base hits from him, the homers, 3 in his last 2 games. He said it feels great to be able to contribute at this point of the season, but a lot of mechanical adjustments he made here recently that's been working out for him, guys.
Thanks, Julia. Yeah, and if that's shown in yesterday's performance, clearly those are working. Couple of home runs for Colby.
Well, for me, it's Colby's bat isn't sticking straight up in the air, up out over the plate. He's laying that bat flat on his shoulder. That's something he wasn't doing early in the year.
Struck out looking in the first inning against the lefty Ray and falls behind 0-2 here. The 25 home runs, a career high for Colby Rasmus. Watched him a couple of years in Toronto, and he had a variety of batting stances. But when it's all said and done, he hits with power and plays great defense. Ray finds the outside corner. Rasmus caught looking for the second time. That's 5 strikeouts for the lefty Robbie Ray.
Both times he's been caught on fastballs away. This one off the plate, and he has a pretty good reason to ask home plate umpire where that was. Maybe just give him the evil eye.
Looked like a question without words there, huh? Chris Carter at the plate. Grounded to short in the second. Hits a ground ball off the glove of the diving third baseman Lamb, and that'll be a base hit. 1 out single for Carter. And for the Astros, hit number 5 on the afternoon.
Fielder Marwin Gonzalez.
Aggressive early on that fastball. We talked about how Robbie Ray, and you saw the numbers there, right around 72% fastball. So get it ready. If you get a fastball in the zone, turn on it. Chris Carter did. Back off the interstate.
And now Marwin Gonzalez, who's 1 for 1. Marwin hitting .278. Had a whale of a year. Guy who was really labeled as the utility guy on this club as the team broke from spring training, but his utility skills have been so good and the bat has been so valuable that at times he is absolutely one of the regulars.
Take a look at that play at third from Lamb on the Supermo, brought to you by Mattress Firm. Got a pretty good jump on it, but just out of the reach.
Ray finds the inside corner. I think we're looking at good stuff from Robbie Ray, and yet the Astros do have 5 hits already. I think that's a good sign as the offense continues to swing well.
Well, they put 7 hits on Robbie Ray back in Houston in 5 innings and put 4 earned runs on him also. Remember, Evan Gattis, big right-handed hitter, took Robbie Ray deep in that game. He's on the bench in this National League away series.
By the way, that infield hit by Chris Carter, just his 3rd infield hit all season long.
Oh, I thought you were going to say career.
It might extend that far. I'll keep it to the season here.
It's very polite of you.
They are still hanging in the 3rd inning in Arlington, 2-1 Angels. It would figure that we will be hanging around here today until that game is done. And that could require some sustenance following today's game here.
The way the Rangers and Angels go through their player personnel, especially the bullpens. 9 pitchers apiece used in yesterday's game, I believe.
Yep.
4-hour, 9-inning game.
Line shot into left field. 2nd of the afternoon from Marwin. And he center cut this thing.
Line drive hitter. If he was a home run hitter, try and get a little trajectory on this, because this ball jumps off his bat. Try to beat Marwin inside, but the way he's swinging it, I can't tell you how good his hands look coming to that fastball inside right now. Effortless.
Yeah, that's as good as it gets. 2 runners aboard, 6 hits for the Astros. Jed Lowry comes to the plate. Jed struck out in the 2nd. They have now moved to the 4th inning in Arlington. Corey Blazer, the home plate umpire, able to lay off that fastball off the outside corner. Jed's now in his 8th year in the major leagues. Yeah, 2-0 the count.
Those guys on the base paths are loose. 2-0 count. Robbie Ray throwing a lot of fastballs. Jed Lowry, good contact hitter.
If you're Jed Lowry and you're batting right-handed against Ray and you realize Jason Castro and Lance McCullers follow, this is probably where you really say anything that I can handle, tee it up.
Be aggressive, yeah.
And I think you have to be aware of where you are in the order and how it stacks up with the opposing pitching. And that could be some of the comment right here from Saltalamacchia.
If you are going to throw a fastball, make sure you put it in a good spot. Not somewhere where Jed Lowry can drive it.
30 RBIs on the year for Jed. And he does come off after the off speed. And I wonder if Saltalamacchia might not have been just dead on that point.
No, I think the pitch proves your point.
Saltalamacchia, like a man, takes that one on the unpadded region of the left thigh. Unartificially padded. Now 2-2 on Jed. That was a fastball to handle. Lowry's hit .276 against left-hand pitching, and he's been much better this year against the lefties than the righties. Against right-handers, hitting just .207. 5 of his 9 home runs have come from that side, but he's had almost 3 times the number of plate appearances batting left-handed.
It's a life of a switch hitter. A lot of left-handed hitting.
Strike 3 taken.
I'm not sure those are strikes. Saw Colby Rasmus on the same side of the plate get punched out on a fastball off the edge of the plate. See where this one is. Same spot. So Corey Blazer a little generous on the edges for Robbie Ray in this inning.
That's 6 strikeouts now for Ray, a costly second out as it brings up Jason Castro. Carter is the lead runner at second base. He's going to have to make sure he gets a good secondary lead and a good jump on a base hit by Castro.
Yeah, there he is. Expand that lead with 2 outs. As soon as you see that bat move through the zone, be ready to run.
Oh, 0-2. Jason's driven in 31 this year.
Think about the seasons that Jason Castro has endured to get to this point right here.
And all the more reason to cherish what's going on for the moment. But Castro down on strikes. 3 in the inning for Robbie Ray, around a couple of hits by Carter and Marwin. It's still 1-1.
And we are giving you a good look at one of the specialty items on the menu here at Chase. This is the D-Bat dog. It looks like a baseball bat, doesn't it? The hot dog wrapped in bacon, stuffed with jalapenos and cheddar cheese. 18 inches long. Of course, this thing is deep fried. Do I even need to say that? Guys, you got one coming your way. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Julia. I'm not really into health food, but Blummer's here ready to go.
Dog, you ain't lying. I can't wait for that thing. Bring it.
Is that big enough for you? Or
it is.
We're going to share here.
I want to know how Julia held this thing with one hand. There's only about 15 pounds of pure girth right here.
You'll handle that well.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I'm going to tune out. You guys go ahead and get the rest of the game. I'm in.
We're tied at 1 down on the field. I think we're going to be leading up here in the booth very soon.
You guys don't mind me noshing in your ears, do you?
Aaron Hill will lead it off. Drew a walk in the second. The only run off McCullers, a first inning home run by A.J. Pollock. Lance able to get out of the third inning despite the bases being loaded with 2 outs. Struck out Jared Saltalamacchia, but falls behind 2-0 on Aaron Hill. Be followed by Jake Lamb and Chris Owings. I don't know if that little cut job is by design today, but it sure is happening. Hill pops it up on the right side. Chris Carter calling in foul territory. And Carter with the play, out number 1.
I thought it was interesting to see that Lance McCullers is almost 50-50 on those pitches. Between that fastball and slider. I know he's got a good one today. He's got a couple of punch outs on that slider. But that fastball early on sets up that breaking ball later in the AB.
I thought that last outing for Lance against Seattle, part of a victory that Lance picked up. We saw a lot of the slider. Carter feeds on to McCullers, who stumbles over the bag and now looks like he might have hurt himself a bit. That's a play that, for me, I'd rather see Carter aggressively go after the bag himself.
Yeah, I don't think he's hurt. I think he's just mad at himself for not making that play.
Oh, and I didn't even see him drop the baseball.
Yeah, just took his eye off the ball to touch the bag, and that's when it led to the clank. And hopefully just a minor slip up in this game. He's been pitching great up to this point.
Well, that's an opportunity for 2 quick outs. Instead, now 1 out, a man aboard. And again, I'll take that aggressive move at first base. Get to the bag yourself. Get the pitcher out of the play whenever possible. Chris Owings, the 8-hitter at the plate. Owings grounded into a fielder's choice to end the second inning. .65 pitches for Lance. We're 1 out here in the 4th inning. Still 2-1 Angels lead over Texas. 4th inning in Arlington. Yankees trail Baltimore in the 4th inning. 2-1 Orioles lead it.
Go back and look at that play that Lance McCullers had on the Superman. Watch the head. Just took his eye off that ball. It's a tough thing to do to get over there. You'd like to see that ball leading the pitcher and maybe catching it before he gets to the bag so that he can do kind of not simultaneously, but one step at a time, the catch and then the step on the bag.
And I think to your point, it was as close to simultaneous as it gets down there. So that's really a tough play for a pitcher. Slider finds the strike zone. 1-2. A couple of tight games going on right now as deciders for the American League West.
You know, you hear people complaining about playing 162 games. You talk to your friends outside of the game. How in the world do you play that many games? Why do you play that many games? And here we are. Last day of the season, 162 games into the season. And this is the one that counts. Of course, they all counted before, but how often does it really come down to that very last day of the season?
Again, a number of scenarios in play here on this final day. National League all decided. Slider got him looking. So Owings is caught. 5 strikeouts from McCullers. That's 2 down now. Lamb still at first base for the pitcher Robbie Ray.
Time now for the Toyota drive to the playoffs. A lot going on. These games being played right now. The Astros have a chance. You see with that 1 game back, if the Rangers lose and the Astros win, to sneak into a tie for that top spot. The Yankees in danger of being tied with the Astros in that top wild card spot also.
McCullers falls behind on Ray, who struck out as he led off the 3rd inning. Ball and a strike. If the Astros win, and that's the key each day for A.J. Hinch's guys. Texas loses, the Astros will play off a tiebreaker with the Rangers tomorrow in Arlington. They would have identical records. If Texas wins and the Yankees win, it's a wild card at the Yankees. That would be Tuesday. Texas wins along with the Astros winning. Well, on and on. And bottom line is keep on winning. And now Robbie Ray slices one down the left field side. Nice play in the corner by Marwin to keep that from going all the way into the corner. It's a double for the pitcher Robbie Ray, and runners at 2nd and 3rd. And that error on the ground ball hit by Jake Lamb at the moment looks like it could be a certainly very dangerous one.
Yeah, with the left-handed pitcher facing Lance McCullers, Jed Lowry is in the right spot, because you don't anticipate a left-handed pitcher pulling Lance McCullers type stuff. But Marwin Gonzalez, you got to give a lot of credit, because he kept this ball in front of him. If that ball sneaks around him, gets into that corner, and starts bouncing around a little bit, that's going to lead to a run.
So the error in the inning, and now a balk charge to Lance McCullers, and the Diamondbacks take the lead. An error and a balk on Lance McCullers in the inning, and very costly. Yeah, that's going to bring out A.J. Hinch.
Okay, I wasn't sure if he's going to go over and yell at Jeff Nelson for what he saw, but I think he's going out there right now to calm Lance McCullers down. We know he's a highly excitable, high-intensity type guy. But right now, A.J.'s just telling the young man, settle down. You've got good enough stuff. Our offense has been swinging the bats. There's 6 hits on the board. As you get a look at the balk. And there it is, that hesitation to go back in the windup. Once you address that rubber, you can't make that herky-jerky motion.
And now Socrates Brito at the plate with a man at 3rd base, already a run in.
I'll tell you what, from behind it didn't look like much of a balk. It looked like he just took a deep breath.
He's got a tendency of rocking there, and that can create some issues. Starts him with the slider for a strike. I'm amazed the Astros continue to pitch away on this guy. Ground ball to Altuve. This will do it, but the Diamondbacks pick up a very costly run in the inning, unearned. But the D-backs lead it 2-1.
To know. How about those Houston Astros? First winning season since 2008 when they went 86-75. 47, almost 48% of their runs have been scored via the home run. And 11 players drafted, signed as amateurs by the Astros on that roster, which is a beautiful thing and bodes well for the future.
But it's about right now for this club. And Lance McCullers will lead off the 5th inning. The opposing pitcher, Robbie Ray, came up with a key double in the 4th inning after McCullers had committed an error, enabling one more hitter to come to the plate. Ray picked up that double, put a couple of runners in scoring position, and then came the balk charge to McCullers. And that's the difference in the game. 2-1 Arizona. Well, Lance a second chance now to swing the bat. He's the first 2 plate appearances in the major leagues for Lance. And the count 2-0.
It's not fair. You got to face a guy throwing 95 from the left side.
Robbie Ray has worked quickly, has had excellent stuff. The Astros have 6 hits against him. McCullers caught looking. That's 8 strikeouts for Ray. Out number 1 in the 5th.
Second baseman, Jose Altuve.
Makes you wonder if that at bat was one of those don't swing it at bats.
Sure looked like it, didn't it? Not bad though. Ended up making Robbie Ray throw 5 pitches.
Jose Altuve is 1 for 2 on the day. 198 hits on his season. Had a single and scored in the 3rd inning. Scored on that ringing double by George Springer to center field. And his 2nd double of the day. Altuve hitting at .312 at the moment. And that's a fair ball. 199 goes down the left field line. Extra bases for Altuve. And heading for 3rd base. And in with a slide. A 1-out 3-bagger. 4th triple of the year for Jose. And that extra 90 feet, very, very big with 1 out.
Ball right down that 3rd base line by Jose Altuve on that fastball in. Slider in. Gets around it and yanks it. But again, these are some tough corners out here to play in Chase Field. See Gosselin trying to play it off that wall. And Altuve with a for sure double, but I think when Gosselin bobbles that ball out there in left field, right about right here, Jose Altuve sees it and continues to stride it out into 3rd base. Good base running.
Remember how much he was hobbled last night and looks really good today. So Springer, a chance to get the Astros back even again. He did it with his double earlier, that in the 3rd inning. For the Diamondbacks, they have Randall Delgado now throwing in their pen. In fact, they have 2 arms up and going. Springer 2 for 2, hitting .276.
I'm not sure I'm comfortable playing short or 3rd in on the grass with the way George is swinging it right now.
Scalding the baseball. Yeah, that infield drawn in all around. There's the Angels-Rangers game, and the Rangers have taken the lead in the bottom of the 5th inning, 3-2.
Adrian Beltre, 2-run home run off of Garrett Richards.
Boy, is that ever a case of a big player coming up big here down the stretch. Springer fooled on the off speed. It's 1-2. Andrew Chafing, the other arm throwing in the pen for Arizona. George gets a piece and stays alive.
Good pitch. Good pitch to hit, I should say. And George gave it a good hack, too.
That was a heck of a swing.
Tell you what, Robbie Ray's glad he's going to get another baseball back and have a chance to get George Springer.
That one hits him and drills him. Springer flings the bat away. So he's at first base. It's still 1 out. Speed at the corners for Carlos Correa.
Ouch.
Shortstop, Carlos Correa.
Fastball trying to bust it in. It looks like it caught him on that left hip. Right on the belt. Man. Tough kid. Down at first base now. Now you've got all kinds of situations going on, but you've got some serious thump at home plate. Chip Hale's coming out to get Robbie, I think.
So the skipper, Chip Hale, coming out. 2-1 Arizona here in the 5th inning. And Robbie Ray has had really good stuff.
He's had great stuff.
See if this is more about trying to make sure that his left-hander knows the situation, that the infield plays it the way the skip would like.
No, he's actually done a good job against Carlos Correa in this game. Got a soft line drive to third base to get him out and punched him out his last at bat. So he's going to stick with Robbie Ray in this matchup, left on right against Carlos Correa.
So Carlos Correa comes up in a huge situation now. Correa has lined out softly and struck out.
Again, 21 years old. In a huge game here, number 162 for the Houston Astros. Young man has a chance to make an impact. He's been doing it all year.
Out in front on the slider. Leads All-American League rookies in home runs, OPS, slugging. Second in RBIs, comes in with 68 and a chance to add some to that. A changeup in the dirt. Second in doubles, third in batting average. Would love to have a memorable at bat right here. Fouls it back.
Good pitch to hit. Good swing by Carlos.
And now it's 1-2. There's a couple of talented young players. Two of the real bright stars in Major League Baseball.
Big AB right here in the top of the 5th. Good job of fighting that pitch off by Carlos.
You know, I think the great players live for these moments, but when you get to that moment, you have to find a way to just keep doing what you've done. Lays off. Saltalamacchia does a nice job. It's 2-2.
I always felt that the great hitters, the clutch hitters, always embraced these type of at-bats. Yeah, the expectation is put on them, but they never let that moment overwhelm them and take over the situation.
Exactly. Hammered but foul down the left field side, way back to the second tank.
Wow.
Well, he got an off-speed hanging pitch and just destroyed it.
Just a little too quick. How about the look on the face of Carlos Correa wanting to crush that baseball and give his team a lead?
Again, gets a piece.
Some good swings.
He's seeing everything. That was the change, I believe. This is the 8th pitch of the at bat coming up. And now a full count. Do you put George Springer in motion from first base with 1 out?
Yes. And this is one of those run and hit type situations. Make sure the pitcher's going to home plate, take off, get that defense to move around a little bit, maybe open a hole for Carlos Correa.
And ball 4. What an at bat from Carlos Correa. Bases are now loaded for Colby Rasmus, and he's being brought back to the bench. Evan Gattis will grab a bat and come up as a pinch hitter. So Gattis gets a shot. It's one of those National League Series. Pitchers hit. Gattis winds up on the bench, but now a chance to take as big a swing as anybody will for the Astros. Back on April 26th, it was Evan Gattis in Oakland that got a big road trip going.
Yeah, that beard high fastball that he's been crushing all year long. That started the big things for Evan Gattis. Had that rough month of April, but it finished off pretty strong with that bomb to center. And you can see this move coming right here as soon as Evan Gattis was announced.
Chip Hale comes out to the mound, and the skip will change pitchers now as Gattis comes onto the plate. In a 2-1 ball game, the Astros a big moment. We'll be right back.
AT&T call to the bullpen. In relief of Robbie Ray is going to be Randall Delgado, making his 64th appearance. He's got 13 holds on the season, 70 1/3 innings pitched with those 70 strikeouts. High walk guy though, 33 walks, giving up 7 bombs in those 70 innings.
And Evan Gattis, who will stand in as the pinch hitter, is the man with the 3 baggers this year.
Unbelievable what he's done. I don't think anybody anticipated that he would have the same amount of triples as the number on his back. Expected to drive in runs and hit home runs like he has been, but added benefit having him run around those bases.
And Gattis takes a strike to start things. Delgado's 25 years of age, out of Panama. 5 years now in the major leagues.
When was the last time you saw a cleanup hitter getting pitch hit for in the 5th inning?
Ground ball hit to short. They could get 2. 1 and no. And the hustle of Evan Gattis, the triple man, able to get the Astros a run. And that is so crucial in a game like this. And with that, the Astros have caught him at 2.
I guess when you're talking triples, you're talking speed, and right there, Evan Gattis' speed helps the Astros tie this ball game up. Not a well-hit ground ball, but able to get a good jump out of that box, beat the throw to first base. Not an ideal situation, but it pays off with the hustle of Evan Gattis. Oso Blanco moving down that line.
And how about that intensity in the Astros dugout? The Astros now bring on a pinch runner. Jake Marisnick brings his speed to first base. So keep in mind that was Colby Rasmus being pinch hit for the center fielder. Jake would come on anyway to play defensively, so utilize his speed. Runners at first and third. That's Springer at third now for Chris Carter.
Those wondering why they didn't replay it, Supermo gives us the evidence that Evan Gattis clearly beats it. I thought the reaction from the dugout was great. They all jumped out of there screaming safe, realizing how important each run is right now.
Yeah, I felt like you could just feel the intensity going on. Chris Carter a chance to put the Astros in front. It's 2 outs. 0-1 the count on Chris, who has grounded out and singled. Delgado has allowed 7 home runs over 70 innings. Runner goes from first. It's a strike. Carter taking the second strike as another stolen base is picked up by Jake Marisnick. Astros continue to be first in the league. That's number 24 for Jake. Carter with a 1-2 count. Never know in a game like this where a guy beating out a double play possibility might turn out to be the biggest play of the game.
Definitely got Houston back in this game to even it up.
And now 2-2 on Chris. Saltalamacchia continues a nice performance.
How about that? Baltimore Orioles jumping out to a 5-1 lead over the New York Yankees.
Yankees just really stumbling coming toward the finish line. Rangers continue to lead 3-2 over the Angels in the 6th inning. They're actually moving along more quickly than the Astros and Diamondbacks. Carter down on strikes, that'll do it, but the Astros get a very big run to tie this game at 2 through 4.5 innings. Presented by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by the new Stewart Cadillac, luxury and style with downtown convenience. See us at stewartcadillac.com. 2-2 game through 4.5. Jake Marisnick takes over in center field here at Chase Field. Astros have out-hit them 7-4, but a run coming in against Lance McCullers on a balk after he had committed an error to enable that base runner has the Diamondbacks tied with Houston. 2-3-4 coming up for Arizona here in this 5th inning. Phil Gosselin leads it off. He's 1 for 2 on the day. And now 0-2.
It's not a good feeling. The body's going for it and your brain says no.
Pretty good put away slider right there. Diamondbacks have found a way to lay off here this afternoon. Rangers and Angels in the 6th inning with the Rangers leading at 3-2. We've seen Jose Altuve with a pair of hits today, including a triple. 199 hits now for Jose. Got him looking on the outside edge. First out of the 5th inning. Strikeout number 6 for Lance McCullers.
Register now for the opportunity to purchase tickets to potential 2015 Astros postseason games at Minute Maid Park. You won't want to miss the excitement of October baseball. Sign up at astros.com/postseason tickets or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
A.J. Pollock at the plate has been tough on McCullers as Lance brings a strike. First inning home run, number 20 on the year for Pollock, and then a single in the 3rd inning. Hit that home run to straightaway center field, the single into right center. So staying on the baseball very well, but now has an 0-2 count. Maybe guessing slider on that second offering. Comes with a rare changeup here this afternoon.
Well, considering how Pollock's been swinging the bat, not a bad idea to try and mix it up. Throw a little wrinkle out there that he hasn't seen yet. Catch him off guard.
Slider tapped on the left side. Correa with a tough play and got him. Nice stretch by Carter. Very nicely done by Carlos Correa in front of Altuve.
It was a great play by Correa. And get those tickets if you want to go out there and watch him continue to play baseball here in October. Those tickets are available. We said if you do purchase those tickets and something goes haywire, you don't get the chance to use them because the Astros are playing somewhere else, or you bought a ticket and they end up not playing, you guys will be fully reimbursed. So go ahead and take that chance to see some great baseball.
2 outs now, bases empty for Paul Goldschmidt, who has flied out and walked. McCullers still bringing that heater at 95 here in the 5th inning. That's a 1-1 count. Two runs, 7 hits, an error for the Astros. That error leading to a Diamondbacks run. 2 runs for Arizona on 4 hits.
Change up again, got away from him.
In that Angels-Rangers game rather, home runs by Albert Pujols that got the Angels in front early. But Adrian Beltre has hit his 18th for those Texas Rangers. Big swing by Goldschmidt. They're in the 7th inning now as they scoot along in Arlington.
Would have liked to have seen the spin rate on that thing because it snapped pretty good. Goldschmidt was looking to crush that pitch. Broke away from him.
Fastball spotted extremely well. No call. It's 3-2 now.
Man, that was a good pitch. This is the previous pitch. See, right around just above the belt and then just snaps down to the knees. You can see Goldschmidt realizing that was a pretty nasty pitch. But where was that fastball away?
Slider drilled into center field. Sometimes you get an extra out, it costs you. Sometimes the extra pitch and it will cost. That's the case here with Goldschmidt's base hit. 2-out single brings up the 5-hitter, Jared Saltalamacchia.
That's another filthy pitch. Look where this pitch ends up. Way down. Goldschmidt just goes up, golfs it. Just a punched 5-iron to center field.
Saltalamacchia has struck out looking twice on the afternoon. That pitch has gotten Salty a few times already today. That little cutter in on the hands.
And Lance McCullers throwing it with no intention of it being in there.
I agree. Because you can see Castro, he's not setting up there and kind of fooled on each one. Jason with a nice job moving to second, and in there safely Goldschmidt on a slider that bounced well out in front of Castro.
That was a great read by Goldschmidt, anticipating the break in the dirt. Went off as soon as he saw it. But how about Castro taking this one? Oh man, right off the right collarbone. But he did a pretty good job just to keep it in front. Good read by Goldschmidt.
Wild pitch now moves Goldschmidt into scoring position. A lot on the line for the Astros. Here's the big swing. And a 1-2 count. McCullers trying to get him for a 3rd time this afternoon. Shift on defensively in the infield. Wide open left side. Right back on the hands at 96 from Lance.
Saltalamacchia finally got to one. And he shook to get to that pitch. Castro and McCullers still working together pretty good. But it's kind of interesting as a hitter, you see a guy like McCullers shake. He's shaken to the fastball a couple of times now. Hitters will pick up on that.
Saltalamacchia gets that slider this time and fouls it. Saltalamacchia started his year with the Miami Marlins. Played in just 9 games there. Had a struggle. He hit .069.
Get a multi-year deal from them too.
Might have. Now in his 70th game with these Arizona Diamondbacks. Fastball crushed to right field. And that's in for a ground rule double. That'll play to run thanks to the wild pitch. And the Diamondbacks here in the 5th inning lead it 3-2.
All the runs for the Arizona Diamondbacks coming with 2 outs. Last inning the run came in on a balk. Now you've got a 2-out double. Saltalamacchia getting that foot down and getting to it. Interesting that that fastball is on the outer third of the plate where he had been trying to get Saltalamacchia, yet missing inside where he was getting the swing and miss.
2 outs for Aaron Hill. And another man in scoring position situation.
That first run for the Diamondbacks was a 2-out home run from A.J. Pollock in the first.
Diamondbacks crowd getting into it here. Each team with a run here in the 5th. Hill taps one on the right side of the mound. Easy for McCullers as he feeds onto Carter, and that'll do it. But the Diamondbacks get a run and retake the lead. It's 3-2 Arizona.
A.J. Hinch, speaking with the media before today, said, "I've been saying all year long we have to play all 162. Little did I know that we really did have to play 162 to find out where our next game would be." But the mindset for this team actually worked all season long for some of these young guys trying to figure themselves out as big leaguers. But 5 months really on top of the division, this team really started to grow a lot of confidence in themselves and started to really believe all of that good as they head to maybe the postseason, guys.
And there's Lance McCullers. Thanks, Julia. A couple of mistakes by Lance today, and it's cost the Arizona Diamondbacks, to their credit, have taken advantage when given opportunities. Marwin Gonzalez leads off now in the 6th inning, down a run, batting left-handed for the first time on the day, tries to bunt his way aboard, and that bunt comes up and hits him while still in the box.
Remember the issues Marwin's having with that left hand, I believe it is. Did get a hit left-handed, I believe, in that first game, but it was not a healthy hack on that left side. Right-handed, just fine. Left-handed, some issues.
You know, that left-handed hack, he was actually fortunate to pitch down and away. He just kind of one-handed with the right hand. And we'll see how he's able to swing it here. Every at-bat would seem to be a big one right about now.
Yeah, you're heading into that part of the game.
Randall Delgado still on the mound, second pitcher of the day for Arizona. Gonzalez, Lowry, and Castro here in the inning, and Marwin again tries to bunt and pops it up all the way down to first base, and out number 1. So that may be the indicator that Marwin just simply feels he cannot swing it well enough from the left side.
And that's not good, because not that Marwin can't bunt, but it's percentages are probably pointing towards the out in that part of the batting order.
Well, the Astros, Tony Sipp now gets loose in their pen. Lowry takes a strike.
Remember, I got blown up, might have been 99, 2000, hitting right-handed and blew up my right thumb. Wasn't able to hit left on right. Felipe Alou kept firing me into the lineup, and I finally went in and told him, I go, I'm going to hit left on left because my right-handed swing was brutal. And he said, go for it. So I wonder if that has ever been a thought from AJ to talk to Marwin, just go up there right on right.
1-2 now on Jed, and that's a good point. And the way he's swinging it, Marwin, from the right side,
yeah,
looks like he could handle anybody.
I agree.
Lowry has struck out in his 2 at-bats today. 97 pitches for Lance McCullers, so he could be at the end of the line. There's that Yankees game. They're trailing now 7-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Can't provide a lot of confidence for Yankees fans. Still 3-2. Rangers lead over the Angels in the 7th. And Lowry, for the 3rd time today, goes down. 2 outs in the inning. Brings up Jason Castro, who also has struck out twice.
Catcher, Jason Castro.
There's that Rangers-Angels game. 3-2 Texas, 7th inning. They've moved along very nicely. If the Rangers win today, having the Angels lose and the Astros fail to come up with a victory, the Astros would still be that second wild card team. But that's not the way they want to have things happen here. 10 strikeouts now of Astros hitters. John Singleton has a bat waiting on deck, so maybe the story is being told on McCullers. He likely is done. There you go. If the Astros win today, Texas loses. American League West Division tiebreaker. That's tomorrow in Arlington. Texas wins along with an Astros win, and the Yankees win wild card at New York on Tuesday. Two-1 fastball. Just slips by. Sixth inning of game number 162 for the Houston Astros. And Castro for the 3rd time today, like Lowry, down on strikes. That'll do it in the 6th inning, a 1-2-3 frame. Diamondbacks still lead it.
Now for the opportunity to purchase tickets to potential 2015 Astros postseason games at Minute Maid Park. You will not want to miss the excitement of October baseball. Sign up at Astros.com/postseason tickets. Postseason, we should say. We'll call the number 1-877-9 Astros if you have questions. Our operators standing by. Here's the scenarios for games at Minute Maid Park. There could be one as early as tomorrow, Tuesday, if the Yankees continue to lose there for the wild card game, or possible ALDS game. So make sure to call, and if you buy tickets and these scenarios do not play out, you will be reimbursed immediately. Ash.
Thank you, Julia. All sounds good. October baseball for the Astros. How many times have we heard it? Play some meaningful baseball in September. And they are doing that and then some. Bottom of the order, bottom 3 for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Leading here in the 6th inning, 3-2. Jake Lamb leads it off. And Tony Sipp is on to work it. So Lance McCullers done with his day's work. Threw the ball very well. Allowed 2 earned runs over the 5 innings, 3 runs overall. And his error, dropping a toss from Chris Carter at the bag at first base, set up that run. Not to mention a balk committed by Lance. 24,788 on hand here for the final game for the Diamondbacks. Arizona has Daniel Hudson throwing in their pen. It's Chad Qualls getting loose for the Astros.
After Lamb, you've got Chris Owings, right-handed hitter, and then you have the pitcher's spot. Daniel Hudson out there in the Arizona Diamondbacks bullpen is one of those guys who's had 2 Tommy John surgeries. Has an electric arm. Some might say too electric.
Fly ball into left field shallow. Marwin's there to make the play, out number 1. So Lamb is 0 for 3 despite scoring a run after reaching on that error committed by McCullers.
Chris Owings.
Some good views at home by fans on Twitter at the scoreboard on the right, watching our broadcast. And this time of year is when you need those 2 TVs. Some crafty veterans at home making things happen. Atta boy, Sam.
1 out for Chris Owings. Grounded into a fielder's choice and struck out. Peter O'Brien, the big slugger, has a bat waiting on deck. Tony Sipp gets in front. For Tony, his 60th outing on the year. ERA at 2.01. He's done a very nice job once again. Good changeup.
Wow, that was real nice. The life just died out of that changeup right there. Great pitch, great location.
Foul tip at the plate. So Owings stays alive. Tony Sipp last year pitched in 56 games, now 60 this year. Very consistent, allowing 5 home runs in each one of those seasons. But the ERA would say this year even better than last. Last year about 3.38 was the ERA, despite some really spectacular numbers. There's the strikeout, second out of the inning. 7 strikeouts for Houston Astros pitching. And now the pinch hitter, Peter O'Brien, will come in. That brings out Brent Strom as he runs to the mound.
Number 72, Peter O'Brien.
And maybe just a reminder about what the Astros have seen here in the series with O'Brien. When he gets a fastball he can handle, he can handle it in a big way. O'Brien has played in just 8 games, 9 at bats. He's 3 for 9. And that 1 home run, his only major league dinger, came against the Astros in game 1. The Astros winning the first 2 in the series, 21-5 on Friday night. And then yesterday 6-2. Dallas Keuchel won his 20th of the year in that Friday game. Yesterday it was Colin McHugh winning number 19. Jose Altuve is 1 hit shy of 200. George Springer has certainly been coming toward the wire, swinging it very, very well. That's a ball fair down the left field side. Oh, O'Brien digs into second base. Holding up his hands is Marwin Gonzalez, saying that ball is stuck maybe in the padding. And now here comes O'Brien toward third and toward home. And this could become very dangerous. This comes up to the umpire's ruling. And he has ruled it a wedged ball under there, so it will be a double. But if the umpire goes down in that corner and says that ball isn't lodged anywhere, then you wind up with a problem.
There's a changeup up. O'Brien already seen a couple of them, but elevator kind of leaked back towards him a little bit, turns on it. You can see the ball just never comes out of there the way Marwin was anticipating. Puts those hands up, and a smart move by O'Brien to keep running.
First major league double for O'Brien. And now he's in scoring position for the leadoff man, Brito. I've seen it take place where an outfielder goes out there and justifiably puts up his hands, and the umpire comes out and says, not good enough for me.
That would not be good.
Not at all. Brito is 0 for 3 on the day. Two 2-0 the count.
Some serious issues for the Houston Astros in this game with 2 outs.
We talked about that, the offense for the Arizona Diamondbacks happening with 2 outs. They got a 2-out solo home run in the first inning by A.J. Pollock. Scored with 2 outs on a balk in the 4th inning. That charge to Lance McCullers after he had committed an error to provide that base runner in that 4th inning. And scored a 2-out run in the 5th inning. Do we have Ichiro with the Marlins doing some little pitching today?
If he'd have done that about 5 years ago, you'd be worried because he had a cannon for an arm.
Texas now leading 4-2 in the 7th inning over the Angels. If the Rangers win that game, the Astros are in the postseason. But they will not have a shot at winning the American League West. And a very close pitch called a ball. So a walk to Brito with 2 outs. Runners at first and second for Phil Gosselin.
Would have been so nice to get Tony Sipp through this inning with Lance McCullers or pitcher spot coming up in the 9th, but now it turns into a double switch situation for A.J. Hinch.
A.J. Hinch comes out to do the double switch, and he, as the rules dictate, comes out to the home plate umpire to get that all started. Valbuena will come on. Jason Castro made the final out of the 6th inning, but Jed Lowry made the previous one, and so it's Lowry coming out. Valbuena goes into third base as the Astros go to the bullpen, trailing by a run. One of the possibilities facing the Astros is that they would play the Yankees, and that would be on Tuesday, and that would be intriguing.
Yeah, that would pretty much be the scenario if both games between the Rangers and Angels and Houston and Arizona ended right now. This would be the setup. And you can see Houston won that series 4-3. They put a lot of runs on the Yankees up there when they did go to Yankee Stadium. Remember, Dallas Keuchel went 7 innings of shutout baseball up there. So an interesting matchup like you were saying, Ash. How about the runs scored for the Astros versus the ERA? Kind of interesting that the Yankees won 3 games.
The Astros had the one big scoring game in New York that
was a big one.
Sometimes skews the numbers a bit. Phil Gosselin at the plate, runners at first and second, 2 outs here in the 6th inning. and Chad Qualls to do the work. Gosselin 1 for 3 with a single. Qualls gets in front.
Big out right here. We got A.J. Pollock hitting behind Gosselin. Behind him is Paul Goldschmidt.
Down the right field side to the seats. 0-2 the count. There's Luis Valbuena now playing defensively at third base. So Jed Lowry out of the game. It's opening up in Arlington now. 5-2 Texas leads over the Angels. And down on strikes is Gosselin. Qualls comes on and gets things done. A hit and a walk. Diamondbacks leave a pair. They still lead it 3-2. Angels, and you may recall this one.
Scored 3 in the 9th off the Angels closer Houston Street. He was not a big fan of the Astros this season. Remember, they put it on him later in the season when Jed Lowry got that pinch hit home run. Just good aggressive baseball. Another double play beaten out. Astros hustling. Could that be the game that put them ahead of the Angels? The one they look back on.
You know, when you look back on these games, at least for me, I take note of the intensity in each one of those 162 games. Sometimes you feel like, well, now is when it gets intense, but it's been like that night after night after night, and that's part of that grind and why it's such a tough game to wind up into the postseason with. As you see Andrew Chafin, the left-hander, now on to work, pitcher number 3 for the Diamondbacks.
He's done a lot of work this season, making a 66th appearance. 15 holds and that sub-3 ERA.
Astros with work to do offensively. Leading off, it's Luis Valbuena, who in that double switch came into this spot in the batting order. And first pitch swinging. It's one to center field. Pollock comes on and makes the play. One pitch, one out here in the 7th.
Oh, man, some people showing off.
Yeah, just make sure you're watching Astros baseball. And now out to the mound is the skip. Diamondbacks will make another change here. And for Arizona, it looks like they're a team that's vying for some postseason positioning. As they go to the pen once again. We'll be right back.
Time now for our Mako big hit of the game. We're looking back at what Jose Altuve has done on the season. He's had some big hits. 3 of them ending ball games at home for the Houston Astros. On their way to 162. Paid the price for that one. But always a pleasure coming up with big hits, having a great average with runners in scoring position. Definitely a catalyst on this ball club. One of the leaders in that clubhouse and on the field. Good times this year for Jose Altuve. Still looking for that 200th hit.
That last one beating the Tigers, and a very memorable one. 199 hits. And you know Jose knows all about this, how many hits he needed in the series, in each game. But he needs a little base running activity for the Houston Astros. One out here in the 7th inning. The Stros down a run. 7 hits for each club. Daniel Hudson, that new right-hander. 6 years in the major leagues. 64th appearance this year. Altuve would become the first Astro ever to have 2 200 hit seasons. Texas now leading at 9-2 over the Angels. Line shot, but at Aaron Hill. And that's a tough break on a bid for number 200. Just hit it right on the money.
This game is not easy. Ball was rocketed. Good swing by Altuve, squaring that fastball up.
And now 2 outs, bases empty for George Springer.
He'll get another shot.
Springer with a couple of doubles and hit by a pitch. So he's been on base all 3 plate appearances.
97.
The double in the 3rd inning picked up a run, the first one on the day for the Astros, tied the game at 1. Ball and a strike on George. 16 big home runs for George, 1 coming here in the series, game 1, as he along with Correa launched home runs to center field. So it looks like the Rangers, and we will be careful about that one, but it looks like the Rangers are going to drop the Angels out of any possibilities. A loss today for the Angels and they're done. 9-2 Texas leads it, 7th inning. Two and 2 on Springer. 6 consecutive multi-hit games for George. $19 doubles now with his pair today. Can't get him biting on the changeup. He's seeing the baseball well. And draws the walk. So Springer reaches all 4 plate appearances so far this afternoon. A 2-out walk, his speed aboard. And Carlos Correa comes to the plate looking for his first hit of the afternoon. How do you play this, Blummer? Do you try to utilize the speed, steal a bag, or do you let Correa get the big swing?
If George Springer can get a jump, I'm sending him. You move that tying runner to second base, all Correa has to do is get that base hit.
Or rather the Diamondbacks almost take care of that for the Astros. Hudson bouncing the throw to first. Nice play by Goldschmidt. That throw gets by Goldschmidt, and very possibly 2 bases for Springer. Well, you know what the Diamondbacks are thinking. Strike and a snap throw. They really have their sights on Springer. George has 16 stolen bases in 20 tries on the year. Line shot into left field. That's a base hit. Springer into second, digging for third, and will make it. George coming around the bag at second was not all out, but then maybe fooled the left fielder Gosselin.
Fooled him. I think he just ran right in the face of Gosselin, daring him to throw him out. Gosselin wanted no part of it. Good swing by Correa. A lot of changeups from Hudson here in this 7th inning. But a good jump with 2 outs by George Springer, and he just said, I'm going to go. See, Gosselin thought about it, but really no intent whatsoever.
Yeah, what I saw with George was a little bit of hesitation around the bag at second, and then, like you say, just took off. So first and third, 2 outs as Correa gets his first knock of the afternoon. And now it's Jake Marisnick, who came on as a pinch runner for Evan Gattis, who had reached on a crucial fielder's choice in the 5th inning. A ground ball the Diamondbacks wanted a double play on. Gattis beat it out, picked up an RBI in the process, tied the game at 2. But the Diamondbacks came back with a run in the bottom of the 5th inning to move ahead.
A heck of a time for Jake's 10th home run.
Two and 0 the count. Chris Carter waits on deck.
Get it ready.
On the move at first base, Correa, pitch gets away, and Springer comes to the plate, ties the game at 3. A wild pitch all the way into third base is Correa. And the Astros, most importantly, have caught him. And a wild pitch getting the job done here in the 7th inning. So a 3-3 tie. We're looking at a scoreboard that has the Rangers blowing away the Angels. And now this.
Did you just see that? How about the legs of the Houston Astros? Not only do they lead in second in home runs, but they lead in stolen bases, and that's what's led to this. Their aggressiveness on the base paths have put them in the position they are right now. George Springer going first to third right in the face of Gosselin, the left fielder. Correa going first to third on a wild pitch. Beautiful.
So now a chance to take the lead here in the 7th inning. Marisnick takes a strike. And watch the reaction in the dugout as Springer ties it. You better believe these guys care.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. You get in these situations, you see everybody kind of hyper tense watching the game, and as soon as something like that happens, that bench explodes.
Marisnick late on it, swings through it, that'll do it. But the Astros get back even, and they do it with 2 outs. A simple walk and a single, and then a huge wild pitch. Through 6.5, tied at 3. That 9th inning, it was Tucker who got things started. The Astros were trailing 3-0, and then all of this followed.
Man, it's just one of those things that snowballed. No expectation, just a good aggressive baseball play from the Houston Astros again. Saw Tucker come in there, getting another big home run late in the game. And then it just led to base runners and base hits. Astro hitters having great at-bats. How about Featherston right here, getting this ball stuck in the web of his glove, allowed another base runner in Correa to get on base. And then, of course, history was made with that hanging changeup to Jed Lowry as he yanked it down that line, and Cole Calhoun unable to time that jump appropriately to even make an effort at that ball. Got to get some breaks down the stretch in order to put yourself in position to win ball games.
The Astros start today with 86 wins, 75 losses. And that was one that turned around. And as the Angels are now trailing in the 8th inning, 9-2 to the Rangers, and a loss for them takes them out of things. That game right there may have been the difference maker when you look at the 2 clubs on the year.
I agree.
And now the Astros find themselves back even in this game, 3-3. Some speed, some daring for the Astros getting it done, and a wild pitch didn't hurt either. And now 3-4-5 for Arizona against Chad Qualls here in the 7th inning as A.J. Pollock leads it off. Pollock is 2 for 3 on the day, including his 20th home run. That came in the 1st inning. Diamondbacks took the immediate 1-0 lead in the game on that swing. But the Astros have been in that battle back mode all day today. And a line drive base hit. Third hit for Pollock. He's 3 for 4 as he gets it started against Qualls. And we check in with Julia.
Hey guys, Chad Qualls on the mound here. A lot of memories for him as he's watching the season unfold here at the end. As he was coming into the big leagues, a rookie, making the playoffs with the Houston Astros back then, a decade ago, and bringing up a lot of memories of just how much pressure there was on him. And he said that the veterans kept telling him, same game, 90 feet, 60 feet, 6 inches, all of that stays the same. So you just have to simplify it as much as you can. So Qualls a veteran presence among all these rookies as they face a postseason spot, guys.
Thanks, Julian. The veteran Qualls tries to get the very dangerous young Paul Goldschmidt, who swings and misses. Goldschmidt 1 for 2 on the day. He's also walked and scored a run. 2 bullpens are busy. Oliver Perez for the Astros. Brad Ziegler for the Arizona Diamondbacks. There goes the runner from first way early as the strike is called. And Chad Qualls just simply forgot about his man. Stolen base, Pollock.
Pretty good jump.
Pollock doing a little bit of everything for the Diamondbacks. 39th stolen base, easily leads the Diamondbacks. And he's been caught just 7 times. And that one scoots on by Castro right through the 5-hole. And now there you go. Nobody out. A single, a stolen base. And 1 through the wickets. And Arizona with a go-ahead run 90 feet away.
Yeah, Castro just got beat.
The glove comes up and the ball finds the hole. It's a wild pitch, but a pitch not blocked. And now the infield has to come in. And that's not comfy with Goldschmidt at the plate. Chopper to third, and it goes foul. Boy, that would have been a break to get an out on that with Goldschmidt at the plate.
Dwayne Ryan hold that runner A.J. Pollock at third base. That would have been nice.
Bottom of the 7th inning. Angels batting in the 8th inning at Arlington, trailing 9-2. If the Rangers win today, the Astros have no way of catching them, and the Rangers would win the West in the American League. But with the Yankees losing, the Astros would have a chance to be that first wild card team, but they need a win today. Big RBI man just tries to go the other way with it.
Well, that's a young man that knows how to drive in some runs. Fighting off tough pitches from Chad Qualls, looking for something he can elevate, get into the outfield, push that run across. Tough for Chad Qualls too, trying to make some good pitches to get this out, leave that runner at third base. At the same time, got a dangerous hitter at home plate.
And now a full count. Jared Saltalamacchia waits on deck. The Astros are forced here in the inning to bring that infield in until they have a couple of outs. At least to some degree. Again, staying alive, Goldschmidt. Leads the Diamondbacks in home runs and RBIs.
Good little battle going on right here. Qualls and Goldschmidt.
Crushed to left field, down the foul pole side, at the pole, and that one is gone. A 2-run home run by Paul Goldschmidt. And the Diamondbacks take a 5-3 lead here in the 7th. Number 33 for Goldschmidt.
Goldschmidt fouling off some tough pitches. Gets himself in this situation where he gets a slider from Qualls and just backs up a little bit. Hangs out over the plate. Goldschmidt knows what to do with it. He was just looking for something he could elevate to the outfield. But found himself a pitch he could drive out of the ballpark.
A.J. Hinch out to the mound. That'll do it for Qualls. As Oliver Perez has been summoned, but it's 5-3 Arizona. But they just watched a very big one by a big home run hitter, Paul Goldschmidt, and that's put a hurt on the Astros. Diamondbacks lead at 5-3 as Oliver Perez now comes on to work in the 7th.
70th appearance, back on a familiar mound. Pitched most of the season here for Arizona. Going to put Saltalamacchia on that right side of the plate.
So a tough inning for Chad Qualls. Saltalamacchia struck out looking his first 2 at-bats, those against McCullers, but then lined a double to right field to plate a run. Gave the Diamondbacks a 3-2 lead. The Astros would catch him. But the Diamondbacks strike again. It's been all about Arizona getting on top in this game, and the Astros trying to claw back. Saltalamacchia pops it up. Altuve with the play. First out of the inning.
See how far away Altuve came to get that ball?
Yeah, he came from a long distance.
The shift was on. There you go. Playing on shortstop. Just came bolting over because I didn't really sense there was urgency from Chris Carter to catch that fly ball. Altuve says, "I'll take it. Thank you very much." Man, that home run by Goldschmidt was a punch in the gut, wasn't it?
Certainly was. Number 33 on the year, 2nd in the series for Goldschmidt. And as we've both witnessed here today, now with Aaron Hill lining one right at Marwin Gonzalez in left field. A couple of outs recorded by Oliver Perez, but it's been a day where the Diamondbacks have been the aggressor. They've been in front, and the Astros just have to keep trying to claw back.
Yeah, it really is a different Diamondbacks team than the one we saw in the first 2 games of this series. But again, we know that the damage can still be done by these Houston Astros on offense. They like to score runs late.
For the Astros in the 8th inning, it's 5, 6, 7 coming up. Carter, Gonzalez, and the pitcher spot. Perez finds the strike zone. Jake Lamb is 0 for 3, but it was Lamb in the 4th inning that hit the ground ball routinely to first base. Carter laid back and fed on to Lance McCullers at the bag, who dropped it. That enabled Lamb to reach, and he eventually came around and scored the Arizona 2nd run of the game on a double that was picked up, or rather on a balk after a double by Robbie Ray. That balk charged to McCullers. Check swing grounder. Perez with the play. Makes a very weak throw, and a nice play by Carter, but off the bag. And Perez just simply tried to rush a play where there was no need to rush.
No, that was exactly it, Ash. It's the second time Lamb has gotten on by an error by the pitcher. Just a check swing, but I don't think Perez realized he had plenty of time. That internal clock, the alarm was going off, and he panicked, threw the ball over to first base, and pulled Carter off the bag.
A.J. Hinch has come out. He wants a check of this one down at first base. Chris Guccione made that call, but they are now going to review it to see if Carter's foot might have stayed on the bag.
Did you see Carter stretches with his left foot on the bag instead of his right?
Is there contact on that initial catch? Yeah, that's not the way you want to do it.
Normally you see a first baseman stretch with his right foot on the bag towards the pitch, or towards the throw.
Yeah, that you want to extend that left shoulder toward the toss. And we see Chris play pretty well at first base. The ball's in the glove right there. Is that enough to overturn that play for you?
Let's hope so.
It would appear to be so. Very shortly thereafter, the toe comes off the bag, but that looks like enough, doesn't it?
It does to me.
So for the moment, Jake Lamb is aboard, and we'll see if this gets overturned. Umpires reviewing in New York. No question about the timing of the throw getting there plenty ahead of Lamb.
Yes. Well, I mean, if they took a snapshot of what we just saw, that call should be made.
Yeah, that one frame right there is the telltale frame.
And that's all you're looking for. That's I mean,
right.
The replay has brought it down to that one point where you can break it down frame by frame. And if that frame shows the catch is made and the foot is on the base, then you are out. Yeah. That's even going one step further because the glove is closed.
Yep. Well, to me, that's an out. And I think a review ought to be able to overturn that call down at first base. But you also could clearly see what you were talking about, Blummer, about Carter stretching with the left foot on the bag, right foot leading out there. And you want to be exactly opposite of that.
And the reason for that is because it does create more of a reach, more distance.
Yeah, if you want to reach with your left arm, you're not going to step forward with your right foot. So they continue that review. Looks like it should have been fairly simple to me. The only thing that I can wonder with these reviews this year is in New York, are they getting all the same shots we're getting?
Yeah, it makes you wonder. Don't they have to get the same shots we're getting unless they've got some spy cam in here?
They have overturned the call. It is an out down at first base. So Lamb is out on the play, and that'll do it. But the Diamondbacks on the 2-run home run by Paul Schmidt have taken a 2-run lead after 7.
And it's time for our Geico quote of the day. It's A.J. Hinch, who said the guys have embraced all of it. They're in uncharted waters, but just because we haven't been here before doesn't mean it's not possible. And these guys have embraced that. We play with a loose spirit. That's our identity. We've seen it all season long with these guys playing fun, playing loose. And here they go. They're about to find out, as it just went final on the out-of-town scoreboard, guys.
Yeah, Julia, Texas wins it 9-2 over the Angels. The Angels are out of the picture in terms of the playoffs. The Astros are in. And the Astros also, because of the Rangers' win today, have no chance of winning the division. So it winds up leaving today's game.
Did you see that?
What was that?
There's a little love going on in that dugout right now. Trey and A.J. Hinch, a little congratulatory hug.
The Astros find themselves in with a loss today as the second wild card. With a win today, a chance to have that game with the Yankees at Minute Maid Park. So no more dreams of winning the division right now. That's all done. The Rangers have taken that. Chris Carter leading off in the 8th inning. Preston Tucker waiting on deck. Couple of changes for the Diamondbacks. Wellington Castillo is their new catcher. Brad Ziegler is on the mound. There's your final with the Rangers winning 9-2. Angels took off with a 2-0 lead on a Albert Pujols home run in the first inning, and now that's what it looks like. Texas win today. Astros clinch a wild card berth. First playoff appearance since 2005, and I guess that's good reason for a little love in the dugout. Brad Ziegler has been around, 35 years of age. Just about ready to turn 36, but he gets Chris Carter on strikes to start the inning. Preston Tucker is now the pinch hitter, batting for
Pinch hitting.
Marwin Gonzalez.
Number 20, Preston Tucker.
And of course, Marwin has continued to show that inability to swing left-handed. So Preston Tucker trying to come up with a big swing. The Astros bats have gone down on strikes today 13 times. Hank Conger waits on deck. That's the pitcher spot for Houston.
So if Kansas City beats Minnesota, the Rangers will have to go into Toronto to start their playoff run. That's a tough bid right there.
Are you assuming right now, as I am, that the Blue Jays are the favorite right now for the American League?
Oh man, yeah.
Tucker taps one up the first base side. Two scenarios, all that's left. New York Yankees win, wild card at the Yankees. Yankees are trailing in the 7th inning at Baltimore 7-4. Astros win and the Yankees lose, wild card at the Astros. Well, the Yankees are well on their way to a loss. Now the Astros have to take care of the other part of the business. 2 strikeouts in the inning. Chris Carter and Preston Tucker, 2 outs now as Hank Conger comes up as a pinch hitter.
Hank Conger.
Conger has 11 home runs on his year. A couple of grand slams this year for Hank. One and one the count on Conger. Ziegler has come in almost untouchable here in the 8th inning. Couple of strikeouts and a 1-2 count on Conger. Hit sharply and through the right side, right through the vacated second base spot with that shift on. So Hank Conger has a pinch hit single with 2 outs, and it brings up Jason Castro.
Good piece of hit by Conger.
Jason Castro has struck out all 3 at bats today. Jed Lowry had the same kind of day at the plate. With the 0 for 3 afternoon, Castro hitting .211. $11 big home runs, and the Astros would certainly love to see one of those right about now. Shift on, 3 infielders on the right side, and an 0-2 count on Castro. Just under the knees, 1-2.
Tough pitch to lay off, 2 strikes.
Cole Hamels, by the way, went the distance for the Texas Rangers, winning his 7th against just 1 loss for Texas. Well, he proved to be big down the stretch for the Rangers as Castro stings it foul. Garrett Richards took the loss, finishes his year 15-12, and again the Angels are all done. Texas Rangers win the American League West. Adrian Beltre with 3 RBIs on his day, 2 more ribbies for Elvis Andrus, the shortstop. Ground ball to the left side, but right there to make the play as they get the fielder's choice. Owings onto Hill, and that'll do it. No runs, a hit. The Diamondbacks on top. Is presented by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by Woodlands Church. A big church makes a big difference. In the Astros dugout, they know what their lot is right now. They're in as a wild card team, and what do A.J. Hinch and a 20-game winner have to talk about at that point?
Dallas Keuchel went over there and told him, give me the pen. I'm going to write my name into that 9 spot where I'm going to pitch. He wants to start that wild card game. That's what he's doing. He's over there petitioning for it.
Remaining in the game now in left field, number 20, Preston Tucker.
Preston Tucker is now on as the left fielder for the Astros. And Pat Neshek comes on to pitch the 8th inning. Astros down a pair of runs, 5-3. Paul Goldschmidt, the difference maker in this game, 2-run shot in the 7th inning. And the first pitch grounded to third. Valbuena's over there, able to make the play. 1 up, 1 down here in the 8th inning. For the Astros in the 9th inning, it'll be the 9 spot. That's Luis Valbuena, and then the top of the order: Jose Altuve, George Springer, Carlos Correa, and you hope it goes on.
There's your potential wild card matchups. Remember to go out there and buy those tickets just in case the Astros come back and win this ball game. That game will be at Minute Maid Park. If you purchase those tickets and the game does not end up being in Houston, your money will be refunded.
Line shot, base hit into left field. Castillo, the catcher who came on just the previous half inning, is 1 for 1 on his day.
Right field, Socrates.
And now Socrates Brito comes to the plate. 0 for 3 with a walk. Phil Gosselin waits on deck. A win for the Astros today changes the location of that playoff game that they are guaranteed of coming on Tuesday. A win today takes them to Houston. A loss today, assuming again that the Yankees continue to lose, and they are losing to the Orioles 7-4. a loss for the Astros, and they'll go to New York on the loss, to Houston on the win. Got him on the pitch up out of the strike zone. That's 67 miles per hour. 2 outs in the inning.
Good old-fashioned wiffle ball right there. Not sure how Neshek holds that, but the ability to take a good 20 miles an hour off that pitch.
And now Phil Gosselin, 1 for 4, stands in. I've never seen, I don't think anyway, by a team not heading to postseason play, so much working of the count as the Diamondbacks have done today. Little fister dropping in right field. Springer coming on, lays out, can't make the play. In for a hit. It's a double. Stopping at third base is Castillo, and the second hit of the day, a double for Gosselin. Runners at second and third for A.J. Pollock, who already has 3 hits.
Valiant effort by George Springer, just not enough. The ball dropping right in front of him. Able to keep Castillo from scoring. So close.
All-out effort, and that's what it's been all year. A tremendous turnaround year for the Houston Astros, and it's not over yet. Pollock fouls it down the right side. His 3 for 4 day has his batting average at .316. Put up some very nice numbers. 20 dingers, 76 runs driven in. Down the right field side, foul territory. Springer can't get there. It's back in the seats. Final game of the year for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and their fans still solidly behind their club. They try to win their 79th against 83 losses. The Astros would love an 87th win. As this one's hit to center field, Marisnik is back onto the track to make the play. And that'll do it for Arizona. They get a couple of hits and stranded pair. We go to the 9th, 5-3 Diamondbacks.
2011, 2012, 55, 56 wins. Look at all those losses that Jose Altuve and a couple other guys have accrued over the years. 2013, 51 and 111. Last place in the American League West. Bit of an improvement last year in 2014, finishing in 4th place with those 70 wins. Then how about this year? First playoff berth since 2005. That'll make anybody smile. But especially that young man right there, because he's been through a lot with this Houston Astros organization. Signed a multi-year deal to continue to be a part of this organization. All that hard work, dedication paying off right now.
Luis Valbuena leads off the last effort here in the 9th inning. Then back to the top, Altuve and Springer. Brad Ziegler trying to shut it down for the Diamondbacks. Yeah, if the Astros are unable to pick up the win today. It'll still be a 16-game improvement from last year, and last year from the previous year a 19-game improvement. Well, it's a great path the club finds themselves on. Three and one. Valbuena trying to get a start. Line shot on a hop, gets on by into right field. So a leadoff single as Valbuena's 1 for 2 on the day. And there's a start.
Just keep getting base runners. You never know. Good things happen. Good AB by Valbuena. Gets himself in a hitter's count. Force the pitcher to throw you a strike. If you get it, smash it. That's what Valbuena just did.
That brings up Jose Altuve. And trying to pick up hit number 200 as he stands at 199. A pair of hits today, a single and a double. Make that a triple. His 4th 3-bagger of the year came in the 5th inning, and he came around to score run number 2 that tied the game at 2. Line shot, but foul. And that ball was pure raked. Miguel Cabrera is going to win the batting title this year in the American League.
Stay tuned after the game for extended coverage, as we'll have wall-to-wall coverage of the Astros wild card celebration on the post-game show presented by Houston Methodist.
Xander Bogaerts has made a great run, and Jose Altuve presently 3rd in the league. Takes a strike.
Altuve's last chance to get that 200.
Yeah, there will not be a game 163, so it's all on the line right here for Jose. On that personal note, and that endeavor to get the 1-game playoff played in Houston. The Astros need a win to make that happen. They're in the 8th inning in Baltimore, still 7-4. O's lead over the Yankees. Yankees with 1 less loss than Houston. Ground ball right side, that's through. There's number 200. Jose Altuve, back-to-back years with 200 hits. And you can see what it means to him. And the Astros now have their first 2 men aboard here in the 9th inning.
Awesome. Well deserved, Jose. And why wouldn't it be just a ground ball to the right side through that 4-hole? Been doing it his entire career, battling with those 2 strikes on him. Not bad. It's going to be a little extra celebration for Jose.
You know, that looked to me, and I don't know if you agree or not, but a big hole on the right side, and he just went soul out right there trying to find that hole. Chip Hale, the skipper, out for the Diamondbacks. Entire infield meeting at the mound. There's a happy young man. 200 hits, that means a lot.
Back-to-back seasons, 200 plus.
Hale stays with Ziegler.
What I love is you see Jose yelling at Springer and Correa. He's not done yet. One swing of the bat, and all of a sudden you got home field advantage.
Yep. So it became a rather difficult chase right down to the wire for Altuve to get to 200 hits. But 3 knocks today, and he gets it. And now George Springer stands in. 2 for 2. He's also been hit by a pitch and drawn a walk. Pair of doubles, numbers 18 and 19. And now let it happen. Hits sharply. Handled by Hill. They'll start the double play 4-6-3. And a very sharply hit ball turns into a double play.
It was a buzzkill only in the sense that the Diamondbacks turned the double play because George Springer's been swinging a hot bat, smoked this one right at Aaron Hill. Does a good job of gathering that one up and hit as hard as it is. Easy to get Springer going down to first.
So now Carlos Correa has one swing to try to tie this game. Falls behind 0-1. Correa 1 for 3. He's walked and singled in 4 plate appearances. And a 1-1 count. His base hit came in the 7th inning. Coached a walk in a big scenario in the 5th inning. He's had some pressure moments late on his shoulders here this afternoon. High chopper to short. Owings with the play, and that'll do it. Carlos Correa grounds out to end the game and the regular season for the Houston Astros. They will finish the year